Welcome to the Sports Show, State Fair edition, or at least State Fair time of year. That means there's a lot of sports going on. Mike Max, Patrick Royce, Eric Nelson, and the one and only Sid Hartman. Sidney, how are you? You like the State Fair, don't you?
I hate it.
You like it. You're a big hamburger out there, hamming it up with everybody.
I hated it from the day I was 14 years old and sold papers out there.
You sold papers at the State Fair when you were 14?
14 years.
How big was it then?
Back then?
What was it? Would they have a Ferris wheel and a cotton candy stand? Or what?
Nothing like it is today. In fact, Bob Casey, I told him to sit on the papers. He was hustling them, and he stood up and a bunch of papers blew out, and I threw him off the truck.
Bob Casey, the former Twins brother.
He was bitter at you for the rest of his life.
Do you like the fair, Patrick? You got a lot of years logged there.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I said the other day. I'm more familiar with the State Fair than I am my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's
nothing changes. You walk in and nothing. I've been going since I was a kid in the 50s. My father loved it.
What was it like then?
Well, just not as much of a food fest, but the Midway and the grandstand has been changed. But the rest of it was, the buildings are pretty much all the same. It's just that instead of having 20 places to eat, there's now 200 places to eat. But it's a food fest. But my father, of course, made us always, before you could do anything that you wanted to do, you had to go through the barns. You had to walk through the...
Why?
Just because that was the tradition of the fair.
That was the State Fair. That was the original intent.
Yes, yeah, you had to go see the cows and the pigs and the chickens, even though I lived in Fulda, which had
saw them all
cows
the
and
time.
pigs
You
and
lived it.
chickens. Yeah.
Eric, was that the first time you ever saw a cow at the fair?
Yeah, as a non-native, it took
From
me a while to
California.
get the picture and the scope of this thing. I couldn't believe it. But now, I think yesterday they tried to move 2,500 sit-on-a-sticks at the CCO booth, and they had trouble.
Did they?
They weren't going too well. So we got to work on them.
Across the street from WCCO, a cup of coffee and a roll about this thick, $7.
Well, who paid for it for you?
Oh, what choice you have?
Have you ever paid for a meal at the fair?
Yeah.
Many plugs as
All
energy
their,
given this morning?
all their prices are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Root beer float, $8.
Wow.
I'll give you here is the modern fair, though. 2 years ago, these people come up with deep-fried olives. Deep-fried olives. And it's a stand over there where the bridge goes over to the grandstand underneath there. They're backed up. You know, they're 30 deep. We got to get, it's the new thing, deep-fried olives. Last year, 5 people in line.
Yeah.
You know, that was last year.
Yeah.
This year, they put bacon around the olives and deep-fried them. Now the lines are back again. You got to have a new gimmick every year. You got to throw a new food. Unless you're the turkey sandwiches, you got to have a new gimmick every year.
You get the selfie on a stick now.
Can you
It's the only thing
imagine?
you can't eat on a stick, the selfie on a stick. I've seen a
I
lot
thought
of
you
those
couldn't
already.
have selfies out
Can
there.
you
I've seen them out
imagine
here.
You're not supposed to
if
have
the stadiums were out here and they could have 20 football games and they could open up the fair for those 20 days, how much money those guys
You mean
will
just put those stands in play during the game day?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not happening. Those guys don't want to share the wealth with anybody.
No. They got that thing
As my
figured out.
friend Suchere always says, we don't know who they are, but they're all living on Marco Island. We know that. You know?
It's a good way of putting it, because we're not really sure who's making money off of this thing,
But
are we?
somebody's doing dang fine.
Yeah, that's for sure. Vikings played last night. What did you think?
I thought they were pretty sharp. I thought Dallas got one of the best offensive lines in football, and they played them for more than a quarter. And I thought they looked pretty good. I thought that the quarterback, 7 for 7, finally completed a pass to that Mike Wallace. They ran the ball pretty good. Defensively, I thought they played pretty good. I think Jerry Jones likes to make a good, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys doesn't like to lose, and he coaches the team as well as owns it.
Do you know him at all?
Yeah, I know him pretty well.
How do you know him?
Yeah,
How'd you get to know him?
got to know him through Mark Trestman. Mark Trestman was a coach at Miami, And Jimmy Johnson was a coach, head coach there, and Jones used to come around all the time. So when I go to Florida, I go visit Tressman.
And Jones might be there at the office.
Jones might be there.
Sid also helped work out the details of the Herschel Walker trade. So.
That's right.
That's why
I
Jerry
forgot
likes
about that deal he broke. That's why he likes him so
Jerry likes
much. Patrick, what'd you think?
They were good. They were good. Teddy's about 82% for the. You know, it's hard to say. You get a little nervous that they're now 8-0 in exhibition games with Zimmer. You don't want to win them all, do you? Come on, let's lose one to Tennessee.
They try sometimes. They still can't lose them.
Yeah, but they're, you know, and Cordero, we now know why he's going to be on the team. Everybody's been talking. He may never be a receiver, but that's okay. If he'll run back to a year.
That's an unbelievable burst he has, Derek. He's been in Zimmer's crosshairs for a long time now.
Yeah, they just got to get him back to what he did as a rookie 2 years ago, because it was the return game where he was unbelievable. He can also carry the ball in the backfield occasionally. He's explosive. He just has to learn the finer arts of being detail-oriented. He'll be fine.
They will have more.
I don't
either.
see him as a receiver much.
I think he's so mad at him for not lining up in the right places sometimes. Especially when you look at him, you see how much ability he has. Go ahead.
They will have more trouble cutting this squad than any squad
Well,
they've
we
had
see that
in
every year.
at least 10 years.
That's Sid. That's like when the Twins say we don't have room on the 40-man, and I always say, give me a pencil.
Yeah, boom.
I'll get you about 8 guys in 10 minutes, 3 minutes. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Take a break, come back. Sports Show. Stay with us.
They will have couple cut.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandSteve'sAutoWorld.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
You're watching CW-23.
All right, let's see. We got a problem, kid. Air handler blew the bearing. Down for the count. Bearing took the belt out, smoked the motor. Odor made the security guy smell something, you know. Not right. He calls me. Do I panic? Freak out? No. I call Granger. They got everything. What we need when we need it. It's always something. But Granger makes it easy. Can't beat easy, kid. Get it? Got it? Good.
Ram has the best towing, the best torque, the best payload, or the best fuel economy. Baby, let's ride, chase a little sunset. So your summer can be one wild ride. Baby, let's ride. Hurry in for $1,000 bonus cash at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. Get 0% APR plus $4,000 total bonus cash on 2015 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models in stock the longest.
With our high-quality films and expert craftsmanship, you can design the perfect wrap for your car that's durable and low maintenance. Protect your paint with our new 3M Self-Healing Clear Bra. Take pride in your ride at Auto Trimmers in Shoreview. Come see for yourself at the website autotrimmers.net.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs, fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl?
then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second-to-none happy hour, and great outdoor dining, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington, locally owned, nationally known, Hoyt's.
Speaking of food, J.D. Hoyt's in downtown Minneapolis. Who needs the fair when you can go to J.D. Hoyt's? That's right, supper club with chopped steak, seafood, and a whole lot more. Stop on by J.D. Hoyt's today, locally owned, nationally known. Welcome back to the Sports Show. Vikings continue. Mike Zimmer, what's he like in year 2, do you think, versus year 1? What have we found out about him now?
Zimmer?
Yeah.
I think he's pretty tough for one thing. I noticed on TV last night a couple times when guys made mistakes, he goes right over to them and lets them have it. And he's calling the defensive signals, there's no doubt about that. They got a defensive coordinator, but he don't do anything. I just think he's got a good reputation, and I think he's a good coach.
Patrick, any coach, head coach, as you watch him come through, and obviously you get a honeymoon your first year, but ultimately, if you don't win, do they quit listening, do you think? And it's just all about winning? Can a coach keep the locker room without winning?
Well, not really. I think that, they're going to... I think that they have confidence in this guy, though. Mm-hmm. He's, I go back to Childress, and Childress's big mistake is, to me, he acted like he thought a head coach should act his first year, and he'd lost so many guys even when he kind of became a better guy. He'd already lost a bunch of guys. I think Zimmer's who he is, and, there'll be some guys who don't like him, but if they were to slide back this year, then all of a sudden we all have doubts. That,
exactly.
Because, then the story becomes, well, no wonder he didn't get a job until he was 57 years old or something.
Yeah, I think he connects with the guys. In talking to some of the players during training camp, they're all about flying around to the ball, energy, relentlessness, and those are the things he preaches. He did in Cincinnati as a defensive coordinator. So, but I'm with Patrick. He was 7-9 a year ago. 8-0 in the preseason is great, but that doesn't mean squat. They got to go out and get to the playoffs this year. It's been 4 times since 2002 that they've been in the postseason.
By the way, the Packers, man, now Cobb got hurt a little bit. I didn't hear the report on that.
Shoulder, they think he's going to be okay, but I don't know.
Sydney, the Minnesota Twins. Can you paint me a scenario here where they're playing in the playoffs? Do you have confidence that they can finish this thing?
Well, I had a long talk with Dave St. Peter the other night at the game, and he gives Molitor a lot of credit for the turnaround. He just, he does a lot of things. Like the other night, Maurer batted .231 against that pitcher.
Kasmer.
Had that no-hit game. He benched him.
No, it wasn't a no-hit guy. It was Kasmer they benched him against, not Fires.
Kasmer.
He benched him because he
didn't hit well against him.
He never hit well against him. They do a very good job of positioning the fielders. I do think that they've done a lot more teaching than they did it before.
Well, the one funny thing is, Patrick...
by the way, that lineup that they broke out against Casimir got 3 hits. But but, I don't know. I'm shocked that they're where they are, that they can go on a road trip and go 6-4 after losing 3 in Yankee Stadium. I don't know. But you can't get by with this rotation if Pelfrey's, Pelfrey's bad more than he's good. Malone, this Duffy kid is not a big league starter, I don't think. And Santana.
Up and down.
That's big, whether he pitches or not. If Santana stays rotten, they're in big trouble.
Which is kind of what makes the whole thing so much more remarkable, because in March, if they said they'd been there, they said, well, then Santana must have been good, and Velasco must have come back, and Hughes must have been good. None of them.
And Maurer would have had a year where he's hitting.
And Maurer would have had 300
years. And that's the funny thing about this team is you look at the total package, and you're like, how are they where they are? But there's something about them. There's a resiliency that they had the horrible start. They had a horrible June. They were bad after the All-Star game, and here they are in the wild card race. So I think Molitor is a big reason for all that. Molitor and Torrey.
I wonder how much money they offer him when his contract's
Who's that?
up. Maurer.
Maurer? What's he got left? I don't even know.
He's got 3
About
years
$5
left.
million.
Well,
He's got
whatever.
3 years left.
But
He
Patrick, all of a sudden, you know, coming into this season, you go, geez, that outfield. Ooh. Now you go,
Ball
Hicks,
may never hit the ground.
Hicks, Buxton, and Rosario.
You know, it's
Holy
funny.
cow.
We all liked Hicks when he was up playing center field, right? And you know, he's fine. But this kid is 2 steps faster.
It's incredible.
They hit a ball in a gap on him, and you think he might be able to run over there and dive and catch it.
Yeah.
He catches it on the run. He's on the way to the dugout.
So what is it then?
He is fantastic speed-wise.
So give me a comparison for a rookie to Sano, somebody that came on the scene and did this like
Harmon
Sano.
killed him. No,
That was a senator.
we haven't had a whole power hitter
I mean,
like
Puckett
this.
came in and got 4 hits his first. I don't remember what he did after that, but
Well, this guy's the first guy that makes you sit in the seats and wait to see if he hits a home run or not since Harmon.
and it looks good striking out, by the way, when he takes that cut.
But he has good at bats. I mean, he'll go deep in the count. He can hit the home run to right field. He can pull it. I mean, he's pure power.
Miguel Sano, who do you compare him to?
Well, Charlie Walters had a good column today.
Whoa, man, you are getting old. You are getting old, man.
You're hurt.
Wow. Wow. The end is near. Making amends with everyone.
I get along fine with
Okay,
John.
go ahead.
He compared Killebrew start first 2-3 years and Sano. And this guy got much better statistics.
You know what I say? Well, go ahead, Sid. Go ahead.
He is, without a doubt, the best rookie they brought up for a long time. I would say the best rookie they brought up since Puckett.
Mauer got hurt, so it's hard.
His
He
first
only
year,
played
yeah, at the
35
Dome.
games. But Morneau was a home run hitter. But here's the difference. Morneau had to get it. If he's going to hit a home run, he had to get it. This kid don't have to get it. If he gets 80% of it, it's going to go.
Yeah, because he hit
that
right
ball
center.
in Tampa the other day would have been 50 feet over the fence.
And he
It
hit,
hit the sign.
and I know you know this,
Right.
he hit 10 in 41 games. Fastest rookie in franchise history, Washington/Minnesota, to get to 10. So that's better than Harmon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
Or
was
Morneau or anybody.
Not a bad kid either. Have you been around him a little bit?
quite a bit. I've been around
Yeah,
him. And
nice.
now you got to kind of listen to what he has to say.
Yeah,
but when
right.
you listen to it, it's
But he
makes
wants to
sense.
see. It's funny. I had him on Twins Fest, and he wanted to do the interview in English. You know, he didn't want.
He's trying.
He didn't want to have
Got
an
to strike
interpreter.
out less. You got to strike out less.
Yeah, but
5 years ago, that was true.
Twins fans will
Sid.
take
Now
that.
they all strike out.
yeah, let him swing, man. Take a break, come back, stay with us.
Ever wonder, why do I hear but not understand? Scientists at Cambridge University discovered the answer. Inside your cochlea, there are thousands of tiny hearing hair cells. Poor hearing occurs when regions of these hair cells die. Amplifying a dead region with hearing aids makes you hear worse, not better. The result of this study is a hearing clarity breakthrough. Using standard test equipment, dead regions of your cochlea are identified. Then, a new type of frequency-shaping hearing aid is programmed to bypass the dead regions. Only your usable hearing hair cells receive amplification. Brilliant. A local study is underway. 100 citizens with hearing problems are needed to receive this testing and then wear the tiny device for 10 days, recording your results. Call now to see if you qualify. Volunteers may keep the product at a special discount if they desire. Don't miss this opportunity. Call now.
Thanks for watching CW-23.
Hi, I'm John Hines. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World is the place you should come for car washes, oil changes, tires. As a matter of fact, anything and everything under the hood of your car. You're in great hands at Bobby and Steve's Auto World, where serving people is the most important part of their business.
Schedule an appointment online for your spring car care special. Get an oil change, car wash, tire rotation, and $5 on your World Rewards card for only $39.95. While there, visit our convenience store or enjoy something from our Chevy grill.
Welcome back to the sports show. Sid Hartman, the Golden Gophers will play TCU in the most anticipated home opener, I guess, when they opened the stadium and they played Air Force Academy, but that was for the stadium. This is the most anticipated opener that I can recall in Gopher history. Give me some perspective of Thursday night's game.
Yeah, I think so. I think they had one with Southern Cal.
Sure, back in the day they used to open with teams
when,
like that, right?
When
1968, a Renthal James Simpson came
Was
to
that the
town
opener?
for the season opener, yeah.
When the great O.J. Simpson was with the team, and I don't know. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. I think they got.
Whoa, man! All
win
kinds
the
of things
game.
are coming out today.
Here's the thing. They have done one of the greatest jobs of recruiting, no doubt the best recruiting job, non-cheating recruiting job.
Are you suggesting that in the past there were some Gopher football coaches that used
the
to
warm-ass cheating when they got all those guys, Dixon and Stevens and Bell and all that guys, they get the best player out of Georgia. The mother comes up here and she falls in love with the town. She was going to move in here. They got 2 quarterbacks out of Chicago. The one quarterback put Mitch Leitner on the bench.
I don't think so.
You might.
The number one recruit out of Georgia, the whole state, or are we talking
He was the
position?
4A player of the year.
Okay.
There's 6 classes. He was the 4A player of the year as a running back, and they like him a lot. Is this that you're going back to O.J. Simpson?
OJ's probably, yeah.
And USC beat him, right?
Well, we had 30 years of playing Eastern Illinois.
Yeah.
Let's remember
Yeah.
that. It was a little hard to, you know.
Let me get through.
Mason played one BCS conference team in a non-conference game in his entire life.
Yeah. And that was by accident.
And they got this other quarterback. What's his name?
Strevler.
He's going to play
Little receiver,
running back.
baby.
He's going to play wide receiver. He's going to play tight end. He's going to play quarterback. He is the second fastest guy on the team. And how he got out of Chicago is beyond me. I watched him run 2 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. He took off, and he ran away from everybody.
If he could throw a little bit, he'll be good.
How about Illinois, boys?
How about that? A coach
Fired a
didn't
coach
last
a
long.
week after week.
So he got a lawyer. He wanted to control the injury reports and everything, huh?
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? You think if they liked this guy, they would have ran him off?
Nope.
No.
You know, they would have said, "Don't do that again."
That's right.
We're going to fine you $10,000.
Yep.
I mean,
The Vikings think they have more draft potential guys
the Vikings think that of the Gophers.
than they ever had.
Okay.
Well, here's the
Eric,
other
how do
thing,
they beat TCU?
turnovers, play great defense. They're fast on defense now, finally, and keep Boykin in check. He's a Heisman candidate. I think I go back to the Ohio State game last November. That's the last time Ohio State was challenged on their way to crushing Wisconsin, Oregon, and Alabama. So there's a chance this could
because they
happen.
got a good secondary.
I think they beat him by
I
holding the
talked
ball.
to Urban Meyer. And
Boykin
Urban
up
Meyer,
You talked to Urban Meyer this year?
I talked to Urban Meyer, and I've known Urban Meyer since he was a nothing for Holtz. And
That's where you met him in the offices there.
And
He
he
said, hey,
said-
graduate
He was a gopher.
assistant, I think you could be something,
But
I'm going
anyway,
to get to know you.
he
But
said
anyway.
that defensively, they were the best team they played all year.
The Gophers.
He said that they did things that nobody else did to them during the whole season.
Because they got a good secondary.
And that's why Barrett was the guy who beat him that day. Remember, he went off. the
Yeah, now
quarterback.
they're moving, Braxton Miller out to wide receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, they have an abundance of riches.
What do you do?
You got to play these guys. But so if you can keep Boykin in check somehow, somewhere, as Patrick said, control the ball offensively, keep him off the field.
TCU's got new defense.
Yep.
I mean, young defense.
And
Lost a lot of guys.
that quarterback is going to have a heck of a time audible and changing signals with that crowd. They are going to sell standing room for the first time in my
Why are we
memory.
acting like we should be proud of this? Why are we acting like we should be proud of selling out a game with TCU, for God's sakes, the number 2 team in the
I'm
country?
not saying they're proud of it.
No, here's why.
I'm just
St.
telling
Cloud State could sell.
Say,
it.
by the way,
the facts that
Yeah, okay.
facts are that
But
they shouldn't be proud of it. They shouldn't not be proud of drawing.
on another note, they finally officially announced that Patino gets a raise and Stallings
that's
gets an
good.
extension. I don't know. I know these deals were done with Norwood beforehand, but Patrick, I don't hear a lot of people going, boy, that's a great move.
No, well, there was no reason to do it. He was
No.
not going to Alabama, and He just had a lousy season, and he had 4 guys leave, including one of them for criminal reasons. There was nothing good about last season, and you give him a $400,000 raise anyway.
Sid, what do you think of that?
I don't think he should have got the raise, and I don't think I like Rick Pitino a lot. I think he's a good coach and a good guy, but I'm sure Alabama didn't offer him a job.
Yeah, but it doesn't look good to the public when you do something like that. Take a break, come back, sports show.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, the Wild, the Timberwolves, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. For details, go to TicketKingOnline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
You're watching CW-23.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Beacon Bank, perfect partner for you. The economy is back. Go live that American dream. Take that shot at whatever it is you want to take a shot at in business. Beacon Bank can get you there. Welcome back to the sports show. Amateur baseball tournament kicking off this weekend. Patrick, a great tradition.
Second weekend, right?
Yep.
Cold Spring and Watkins.
Well, let's see, yeah, because next weekend is the championship.
Watkins, yes. Cold Spring and Watkins. It's a fantastic. 2 great slices of Americana in Minnesota that somehow survive. State Fair and amateur baseball.
Amateur baseball. And we were just talking before. I mean, there's more nice ballparks now than ever.
Yeah. I can remember the time when Ted Peterson covered that state amateur thing, and we gave it top headline.
And they didn't wait to play on the weekends. They would gather someplace and play for 10 days.
Straight through.
Play straight through,
Yeah, Wadena, I remember Gaylord playing.
That's how you hired me as a sports writer. My dad knew Ted Peterson from amateur baseball, and he called up and said, hey, I got this kid going to the U, and I can't find him a job, and Ted got Sid to hire me to answer phone calls.
Wow. What do you remember about your first meeting with Sid? Do you remember it? Is it memorable? Is it?
He didn't really care much about who the new clerks were.
Okay, yeah. Took a while to warm up, did it, for the
My
old
first time I was impressed with him was when I was at a beer party in a pasture, and the farmer came out and said, Sid Hartman wants you to call him.
And you have no idea how he found you, huh?
Nope.
Best hire.
Kind of a boss.
I never called in late again.
Best hire ever made, Pat Rice.
You hired Pat Rice. You hired
I hired
Jim
Walters, too.
And you hired Jim Klobuchar, too, right?
Huh?
You hired Jim Klobuchar, too, right?
Yeah.
He'll take responsibility for that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that Klobuchar hiring Bill McGrain was our Gopher writer and a very good friend of mine. He said, Sid, you're going to be so sorry you hired him. It's going to be the biggest mistake you made.
So remember that, Jim, the next time you run into Bill.
Yeah. And Sid.
Yeah.
Sid on Sid to finish this thing out. Sid, look in that camera and give us your final thoughts.
My final thought was I was going to quit on Connor Klobuchar. And John Cole told me, you'll have a new editor tomorrow. And Charlie Bailey took over for Bauer Hawthorne, and I stayed.
Otherwise, he would have been done. He would have been
back here next week, everybody.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandSteve'sAutoWorld.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.